You know, when you start listing the most powerful hitters in baseball history, a few names always pop up. Well, today, we're diving into the story of one of those legends, a guy whose sheer force earned him one of the most perfect nicknames in all of sports, Jimmie Foxx.
Just look at that. The Beast. Simple, right? But so effective. It wasn't just some catchy name somebody threw out there. It was a description. It was a warning. It perfectly captured the raw, intimidating power he brought to the plate every single time, and it really set the stage for one of the most dominant careers the game has ever seen.
All right, so to really understand the legend of the Beast, you have to start with the numbers. I mean, the statistics this guy put up are just staggering. Even when you look at them today, they paint such a clear picture of the kind of force he was.
Let's start with the big one, 534. That's how many home runs he hit in his career. For the longest time, that number was second only to Babe Ruth himself. I mean, think about that. He retired with more homers than icons like Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio. This wasn't just good, it was next-level great.
But here's what's so wild. He wasn't just some all-or-nothing slugger. A career batting average of .325? That is phenomenal. It proves that he mixed that monstrous power with pure, consistent hitting. He could crush a ball out of the park, or he could hit a line drive for a single. He was just a total nightmare for pitchers. And at the absolute peak of his power, back in 1932, he blasted 58 home runs in just one season. Can you even imagine watching that? Seeing a player put on that kind of power display game after game all year long? It was the stuff of legend. Okay, but the story doesn't stop with just his personal stats. Jimmie Foxx took all that incredible talent and turned it into team success and the absolute highest honors a player can get. He wasn't just a great player, he was a champion. And his peak was just unbelievable. He won back-to-back World Series titles in 29 and 30. Then he goes and wins back-to-back MVP awards in 32 and 33. And just for good measure, he won a third MVP in 38. This wasn't just a flash in the pan. This was total, sustained dominance. So let's just recap that, right? 3 MVP awards, 2 World Series rings, 13 All-Star selections. This resume, it just speaks for itself. He was constantly, year after year, seen as one of the absolute best in the game. Now, you're probably thinking you've got a pretty good picture of Jimmie Foxx, right? A huge slugger who could also hit for average. But there was another side to his game, one that gets overlooked a lot, and it might actually surprise you. That's right. For a man called the Beast, known for his pure brute strength, he was also unbelievably athletic and agile. He wasn't some one-trick pony. This guy was a well-rounded athlete who could play multiple positions, including catcher and third base. It just completes the picture of what an incredible baseball player he truly was. So all of this, the power, the awards, the hitting, the surprising athleticism, it all led to the ultimate recognition. His career built up to that one honor that every single player dreams of, cementing his place among the immortals of the sport forever. He built this incredible legacy, playing mostly for the Philadelphia Athletics and the Boston Red Sox, with one last stop with the Chicago Cubs. And believe me, he left his mark on every city he played for, thrilling fans all across the league for 2 decades. And then, in 1951, it became official. His induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame was the final stamp on an amazing career. It is the sport's highest honor, saved only for those whose performance and impact are truly legendary. And for Jimmie Foxx, well, it was an absolute no-brainer. So that leaves us with one final thought. When you start stacking up the resumes of baseball's all-time greatest sluggers, we're talking Ruth, Aaron, Bonds, you have to ask yourself, with his mix of raw power, pure hitting ability, and all those awards, where does the Beast truly rank? Is it possible he's one of the most underrated legends of them all?